Very good. Next to it. So the cost concepts. Today we'll discuss various important cost concepts. Now, standard costing, variance analysis, and marginal costing. Okay, these are the various important cost concepts. I will be dictating. I will be stating the examination questions. Not a big deal. I know the audience interest. I know the examines interest. So I will state it. No problem. So next is standard costing. Standard costing में cost and estimates, concepts, objective, standard costing, budgeting, prerequisites. ठीक से. So next to it, from the beginning, I want to say standard cost estimate cost is the question of 4 marks. Write down concept objectives and prerequisites of the standard costing is the long question. Write down. This is a long question. Okay. And the standard costing, budgeting costing again distinguish between differentiate between these 2 points is the 4 mark question. Standard costing, as the name suggests. Okay, what is meant by the standard costing? Here, standard costing. You know what is costing already after costing. Very simply, costing means accounting for cost. Costing simply means accounting for cost. That means this is very much simple. Na? Cost plus accounting or counting, that is costing. So this is the process of ascertaining, controlling, measuring, analyzing. Cost is called the costing. Now standard costing, when we will uh, be accounting for the cost by fixing some standards. These are called the standard costing. Very easy. Look at. So I'm giving you the example. Suppose we thought that our cost of production must be 5,000 rupees. Cost of production must be 5,000 rupees. This is said in the meeting. This is what called the standard. Standard means here this is your boundary, this is your limit, this is your ambit, this is your yardstick, this is your measure stick. So 5,000 rupees we have set in the general meeting as the standard for cost of the production. Now if we produce the product or desired product by limiting our cost up to rupees 5,000, then we will be called as the efficient. अगर 5,000 से मान लो 6,000 हो गया हमारा कॉस्ट, देन ये हो जाएगा will be inefficient. So later on this will be discussed in detail. Now standard costing, meaning of standard cost. According to the CIMA London, this is CIMA means the Chartered Institute of Management Accountants. Chartered Institute of Management Accountant means it is the CA Institute of the London. Understand the point? Standard cost is the predetermined cost. Number one. Standard cost is the predetermined cost. That means this cost is fixed in the meeting from the very beginning. On technical estimates for material. That means predetermined cost of what? Of material. Predetermined means prefixed. For the material, for the labor, for the overhead. For a selected period, this is also for a selected period. Predetermined, number one. For material, labor, overhead. Number two, for the predetermined. Number three, for time for a conditions. For the conditions. Understand the point? Now, in nutshell, but you have understand for the standard costing. That means for the various elements of the cost, they may be material, labor, and expenses. We set some standards. Standards means target bar, the limit bar, and according to this bar,
एलिमेंट्स एक बार फिर से बताना सर, प्लीज रिपीट एलिमेंट्स.
yes, I'm saying write down एलिमेंट्स ऑफ कॉस्ट. दैट मीन्स कॉस्ट के अंदर मिलावट क्या है, क्या क्या लेकर के कॉस्ट होता है. दैट मीन्स फर्स्ट ऑफ इट इज मटेरियल, सेकंड इज लेबर, थर्ड इज एक्सपेंसेस. material labor expenses, MLE, material labor expenses. That means for any type of goods, understand, suppose this is a product, so you can find material here, the plastic material, labor, yes, technicians were engaged in this, labor were engaged in this, and expenses, so many types of expenses, taxes, etc. So for any type of product, there are three cost elements: material, labor, and expenses. Expenses sometimes known as overheads also. So we have to set standard. Okay, then we will implement our plan, policies, actions according to that standard, and this is for a given period, maybe a week, maybe month, maybe year. It's a given period. This is what called standard costing. Next week. Now, one thing that may arise in your mind, ki standard cost and estimated cost. What is the basic difference between the standard cost and estimated cost? For producing a product, we can estimate the cost also. We can estimate the cost also. That is known as the estimated cost. Estimated cost. How we can estimate the cost? By past experience, by watching the various expenses that were expensed in the past. So by watching all these things, we can easily say that the estimated cost. And what is the standard cost? Not by watching the previous records and all these things. By analyzing, by critical analyzing, we thought that we set our mind to limit it up to a certain level. Up to a certain level. Suppose that is 10,000. This is what called the standard costing. So difference between standard cost and estimated cost. Look at standard cost emphasizes as what the cost should be, and estimated cost emphasizes what cost will be. That means standard cost ये कह रहा है कि इतना होना चाहिए, 5,000 होना चाहिए. एस्टिमेटेड कॉस्ट कह रहा है कि हमको अभी तक जितना मालूम है 5,000 ही होगा. इसका मतलब है सब should be standard cost when means the cost of a product should be this much. Estimated cost emphasizes on will be this much, 5,000. Next week, standard cost or planned cost. This is a planned cost which are determined by the technical experts after considering the level of efficiency and production. By watching the current scenario of efficiency and production, technical expert plan for a standard cost. So this is what called plan. Estimated costs are determined by taking into the consideration the historical data as the basis of adjusting into the future trends. So here, based on the historical data, that means this is plan for future, this is estimation from the history. Very easy. Things is made very easy. So that's why you may note this. It is used as a device for measuring efficiency. Device like this for measuring efficiency. So this is a tool for measuring efficiency. It cannot be used as a device to determine efficiency. It only determines expected cost. That means this is only the forecast. This is only the forecast. You can say this is efficiency measurement. This is efficiency measurement. Make the things simple. Make the things easier. That means standard cost fixed for measuring the efficiency. How? We have set at 4,000, then we manufactured a product at 3,000. Then we are efficient because we saved 1,000 rupees of cost. So for measuring the efficiency, standard costs are fixed. But estimated cost, what is meant by estimated cost? Now, this is simply determine simply is a expected cost. That means this is the forecasting of a cost. We expect that production may be completed at 4,000. Standard cost serve the purpose of cost control. So standard cost saves our control by setting the standard when we are taking the various measures that saves our cost. Estimated cost do not serve the purpose of cost control. Very much simple. Standard cost is a tool for cost control and measuring cost efficiency. Cost control and cost efficiency. Estimated cost do not facilitate all these things. This is simply a forecasting of a cost. Forecasting of a cost. Understand the points? Standard costing is the past part of cost accounting process. Estimated costs are statistical in nature and may not become the past part of the accounting. So this is standard cost or standard costing is a formal study or technique, you can say, of the cost accounting. What estimated cost? This is a generalized concept. Estimated costing, no, you can find this is generalized concept. Shopkeeper also use this. This is based on the statistical in nature and ये accounting cost accounting का कोई हिस्सा नहीं. It is a technique developed and recognized by the management and academicians. It is just not by the technique. That means very simple. By various techniques, experts, authors, it is identified. This is a generalized concept. You can say this is a general concept. General concept, not a commercial concept also. It can be used where standard costing is in operation. Now, what are you watching on the screen? Any one of you confirm me? Any one of you turn on the mic and confirm me what are you watching?
Yes, sir. Now you are audible.
Yes, sir. Now you are.
So, last concept. Did you hear the last concept? Did you listen all these things?
No, sir.
So we just
How much?
heard the difference between the standard and the estimated cost.
And the entire slide is there.
So again, the voice is actually some disturbance kind of thing is coming now. The voice is distorted.
Hello. Sir, voice is not clear.
To apply. First of all, yes, I'm audible now.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Now, look at first number one is setting standard cost for different elements of the cost. That means not for the aggregation of the cost, different elements of the cost. That means again, I wish to write a different elements of cost. Please, the different element of cost: material, number two, the labor, number three, overhead. Overhead. That means the various expenses. So for each type of element of the cost, you have to set standard cost. You have to set the standard cost. That means for material how much, for labor how much, for overheads how much. The first standard, then actual, then find the difference. Next to it, reporting the analysis of variance to the management, for taking appropriate decisions or taking appropriate actions whenever necessary. Now, always the cost accounting, financial accounting, all types of accounting, the responsibility of this accounting is to report. You need not have to take any type of actions because you are only the accountant, you are technicians, you just have to report to the management if this much of deviation. Now management will decide what is to be dealt, how is to be dealt with this rupees 1000 difference. So we get the 1000 difference na, 5000 cost control. Objective of the standard costing, number one is the cost control. Next to it, management by exception. Always you can find a objective, management by exception. All these are the technical things. What is meant by this? In short, listen attentively, you can understand. Management by exception here means, exception means you have to work by leaving something, that means accept by accepting something. Exception वो क्या होता है? We fixed the standard and compare with the actual. We compare with the actual. Look at here and find the deviation and find
Voice coming like metal.
Now the manager will pressurize. Manager will think 100 times before spending any amount. That's why simply setting standard, setting bar, setting the limits, simply that develops a cost conscious attitude in the managers, in the authorities. Fixation of the prices. It also helps in fixation of the prices. Prices always means selling price. Prices always means the selling price. By setting the standard, comparing with the actual, we forecast the selling price in advance. हम पहले से selling price fix कर सकते हैं. Obviously, when you are going to sell a product at that moment, is standard costing. Standard costing versus budgeting. Now budgeting के साथ standard costing का क्या differences है? Standard costing versus budgeting. These are the two things similar in nature. You think that these things standards. I'm coming back to this. Yes, I'm repeating. I'm choosing to link. Okay. No, where I have engaged. I'm That means you may have any internet connection problem. I'm okay from my side. Anyone else confirm whether I am audible? Say it whether I am audible or not.
Yes, sir. Now you are audible.
Standard costing is based on technical information and it is scientifically based on historical
Sir,
cost.
please repeat once again. Sir, now you are not audible properly. So your voice is distorted. Sir, your voice is not clear. Excuse me, sir. Sir, your voice is not clear.
Repeatedly saying that voice is not coming.
Yeah, actually, sir, your voice is breaking.
Now I am audible. Yeah, now I am audible. Though.
Now you are audible.
That will be interrupted in little bit. Okay, let it. Standard costing. Now look at this is the narrow concept. Budgeting. Budget can be prepared for all, for human resource also, for sales also, for purchase also, for expenditure also. But standard costing. Okay, next is number 4. Anyone saying anything? Say if you have any question. Yes. Otherwise, turn off your mic. In standard costing, variances usually revealed through the accounts. In budgeting, variances not revealed. This is one thing. Standard costing objective is to variance revealed. That means to reflect the variances. Budgeting do not reveal through accounts. Okay, next to it. In standard costing, a detailed analysis is needed in case of variances. No further analysis is required for the these things. No, no. Maximum you can go up to this. Understand the point? Standard cost is revised. Standard cost is revised only when there is change in the basic assumption and basis. That means no change you can say. Budgeting is done before the beginning of each accounting period. Is the same thing, no problem at all. That means basic assumption and basis if remain same, then standards remain fixed. But always budgets are always fixed at the beginning of the accounting period. That means budget revised regularly. Standard do not revised. Next, standard costs are based on the basis of standard set by the management. of the financial accounts. Generally, standard costing is more concerned to cost accounts. That means the entire elements, the entire things going on the standard costing, they belong to the standard account, cost accounts, and budgeting sometimes relates to the financial accounts. Why? Because it deals with sales also, finance also, okay, various type of expenses also, selling distributions also, research also. For research and other expenses, you can prepare the budgets. That's why it is concerned financial accounts also. Understand the point? This is only for the cost accounts. Next, read variance analysis. So we now
Dr. Mohanta, most of the time actually some mechanical sound is coming. Now also you are not audible. Then there is a serious network issue over there. Learners, if he cannot hear, why are you telling sir?
yes,
Or
sir.
do you expect me to tell?
So, what are you watching on the screen, your audiences? Mathur, what are you watching on the screen?
So controllable and uncontrollable variance.
Sorry for the inconvenience. There might occur some problem with my mic and network simultaneously. That's why I had to switch my network also. I had to switch my headphone also. Okay, this type of problems are expected. So sorry for that. Okay, controllable and uncontrollable cost. That means the cost very easy. Oh, this is left blank intentionally. Controllable cost here, uncontrollable costs. Understand the point? Variances. Sorry. The variances. That means variance which can be controlled. These are the controllable variances. How? Suppose a responsibility of a labor or a manager, that key usage must be restricted. Usage of material must be restricted. He should use 5 units for making a product. Now just use the 6 units. This is what called variance of 1 unit. Variance of 1 unit material. So we just got inefficiency here. Now the usage of the material, not by wasting them, understand the point, is in the hand of a person. Now this type of wastage can be controlled by such designated person. Understand? These were called the controllable variances. So variance or differences due to the authority and responsibility of a certain person are called the controllable variances. Uncontrollable variances, which are called uncontrollable variances, means the variances which cannot be controlled. Understand the points? These are for some external factors, like increment in the selling price. Sorry. Increment in the price of material, charges of the labor charge बढ़ गया, या फिर taxes, enhancement of the taxes, all these are not in our hand. Understand the points? So material charges, labor charges, expenses, etc., those were associated with the cost of the product may be enhanced, that may be fluctuated. Understand? So these belongs to the market condition, those are not in our hand. That's why any type of expenditure occur is not in our hand. Understand the point? Some costs, some variances may be controlled, some variances may not be controlled. Now, which are the classification of various types of variances? So variances, now classification of the variances. For the cost, these are broad classification. Number one, cost variances. Number two, sales variances. Actually, sales in reality, sales variance is not in the part of the cost accounting. This is just studied as a mechanism of accounting. Main thing is that cost variances, because we are very much concerned for the cost as a manufacturing concern. So cost variances, that means these are the various types of possibilities of the variances, various types of possibilities. Till now अगर आपकी variances का मतलब clear नहीं हुआ, this is means the difference, this is mean the gap. Understand the points? The gap, the differences between the standard and actual. स्टैंडर्ड एंड एक्चुअल के अंदर में जो डिफरेंस गैप है उसको वेरिएंसेस कहते हैं. नंबर वन इज कॉस्ट वेरिएंस. कॉस्ट वेरिएंस में भी कॉस्ट एलिमेंट्स दैट इंक्लूड मटेरियल वेरिएंसेस, ड्यू टू लेबर वी मे इनकर वेरिएंस, ड्यू टू एक्सपेंसेस. मटेरियल, the expectation and the reality do not match always. Expectation and reality may not match. That's why variance may be occurred in case of material also, labor also, expenses or overheads also. Understand the points? Now again, material variance, the total cost of the material, total cost of the material depend upon the price variance and the usage variance. प्राइस के लिए भी हो सकता है, यूसेज के लिए भी हो सकता है. अगेन आई एम गिविंग यू द एग्जांपल्स. मान लो टोटल डिफरेंस हुआ 1000. अंडरस्टैंड द पॉइंट्स? 1000 और एक्सपेक्टेशन वाज 5000, रियलिटी we incurred 6000, so variances occurred here 1000. Now this 1000 may be for two things. Understand the points? Number one, due to the price hike. Number one, due to the price hike, price per kg of material that increased from 2 to 3 rupees. So when in the market the price for the material will increase, obviously our cost of the entire material used will be increased. Next to it, usage variance. Usage variance means what? Due to the quantity change. Due to the quantity change, we have planned for using 100 units of material. Here I am saying material, 100 units of material, but in reality we had to use 150 units of material. So for the material usage, that means हम सोचे थे 100 में हो जाएगा लेकिन 150 यूनिट्स लग गया, तो यहाँ पर इसके लिए भी आपको कॉस्ट में वेरिएंसेस, दैट मीन डिफरेंसेस आ सकते हैं. तो ड्यू टू द प्राइस आल्सो, ड्यू टू द यूसेज आल्सो. अंडरस्टैंड द पॉइंट्स? First we'll understand these things, then we'll go to the further. If you'll understand the material variances, labor variances runs are same here also. Suppose direct material cost variance. डायरेक्ट मटेरियल कॉस्ट वेरिएंस ये कैसे कैलकुलेट होता है? यहाँ पर देखिए, डायरेक्ट मटेरियल कॉस्ट वेरिएंस DMCV कैसे कैलकुलेशन होता है ना? स्टैंडर्ड कॉस्ट फॉर एक्चुअल आउटपुट लेस actual cost for actual output. This is the actual thing which is not written in the textbook. So direct material cost variance, that means total overall हमारा ये जो प्रोडक्शन लॉट था, ये जो टोटल प्रोडक्शन लॉट था, यहाँ पर हम स्टैंडर्ड कितना फिक्स किए थे और एक्चुअल कॉस्ट कितना हो गया. स्टैंडर्ड कॉस्ट कितना था टोटल और टोटल एक्चुअल कॉस्ट कितना हो गया, इसका डिफरेंस को कहा जाता है डायरेक्ट मटेरियल कॉस्ट वेरिएंस. सो हाउ वी कैन ascertain दिस, स्टैंडर्ड कॉस्ट फॉर एक्चुअल आउटपुट माइनस एक्चुअल कॉस्ट फॉर एक्चुअल. ऑब्वियसली स्टैंडर्ड हम सेट किए थे माइनस एक्चुअल, दैट विल बी वेरिएंस. नाउ स्टैंडर्ड कॉस्ट मींस व्हाट, स्टैंडर्ड कॉस्ट मींस स्टैंडर्ड प्राइस पर यूनिट और स्टैंडर्ड क्वांटिटी यूज्ड फॉर एक्चुअल आउटपुट. फॉर एक्चुअल आउटपुट जितना ऑब्वियसली जितना आउटपुट हो रहा है उसके हिसाब से ना हम काम करेंगे. नाउ एक्चुअल कॉस्ट का मतलब क्या होता है, एक्चुअल प्राइस फॉर एक्चुअल क्वांटिटी यूज्ड. This is one question you can say. Understand? Now, let's solve it. Standard output 1600 units, actual output 2000 units. That means ये हम सोचे थे 1600 units output होगा, लेकिन actually output हुआ 2000 units. तो standards which you have determined that was not produced ना, so let it go. Actual output 2000 units. Standard quantity required per unit, that means per unit of output. This is what called the production. Production हमारे हुए अभी तक 2000 units. Understand? Next to it, standard quantity required per unit. Per unit we need 2 kg of the production. That means in total we need here 2000 into 2, that is 4000 units we need. That means for actual output we would have used 4000 units. Total quantity actually consumed, this is the standard, but the actually we use the 20 per 1000 kg actual consumed, 20 per 100 kg. Next to it, standard rate per unit 8 per kg and actual rate per unit 10 per kg. That means we have set our standard in the meeting, in the discussion, that ki 8 rupees per unit materials लगेंगे, but market is not in your hand. Market में हुआ जाकर के कितना rupees 10. This is actual price we have to bear. Understand the points? Now we have to calculate the direct material cost variance. Direct material cost variance easy. कैसे calculation होगा ना, very easy. Standard cost obviously for actual output के लिए ही तो हम काम करेंगे ना, less actual cost for actual output. now equal to, देखते हैं स्टैंडर्ड कॉस्ट कितना है. तो जनरली हमारा आउटपुट कितना हुआ 2000, तो आउटपुट हुआ 2000 इंटू एक यूनिट आउटपुट के लिए हमारा यहाँ पर 2 kgs इज रिक्वायर्ड. सो 2000 यूनिट्स प्रोडक्शन के लिए इंटू 2, वी आर कैलकुलेटिंग द मटेरियल, द कॉस्ट ऑफ द मटेरियल वेरिएंसेस. सो 2000 unit produced and for each unit we need the 2 kg of material. So 2000 into 2 into standard we have set 8 rupees. Standard we have set 8 rupees minus actual cost, which is the actual cost. Actually we have consumed this one, अच्छा directly given. Actually we have consumed 20 for 100 kg into actual rate is 10 per kg, is actual rate 10 per kg. First write down these things or see, then I will again repeat these things. Understand the point? Now 8 दूने 16 दूने 32, 32,000 minus 24,000 equal to 8,000 rupees. 8,000 rupees is the variance, is a positive figure, that's why it is called the favorable variance. It is called the favorable variance. Okay, I know that this needs to be repeated. Yes, I know that. Again, story begins from कि standard output we thought that 1600 units होगा but हुआ नहीं. So ये और कुछ काम करनी. Actual output 2000 units हमारा actual production है. Next to it एक यूनिट के लिए 2 kg मटेरियल चाहिए होता, and actually we have consumed 24,000 kg. This is the standard rate, this is the actual rate. Very easy. Now what is the deviation as per our standard and as per our actual? It's very much easy, as we have already given. स्टैंडर्ड से एक्चुअल आप कंपैरिजन करोगे, इंप्लाइज दैट स्टैंडर्ड से एक्चुअल को आप क्या करोगे, माइनस करोगे. वेरी इजी. सो हियर स्टैंडर्ड कॉस्ट आई हैव रिटन, हियर एक्चुअल आउटपुट आई हैव रिटन. Standard cost, here actual output next to it. Now standard cost that is based on actual output. So actual output is 2000 units. So 2000 unit into एक प्रोडक्शन के लिए 2 यूनिट चाहिए होता, into 8 rupees is was our standard. Look at here, 8 rupees was our standard. Now 2000 into 2 into 8, but in reality 2400 utilized, that's a 2400 units into एक्चुअल रेट क्या हो गया मार्केट में 10 रुपया करके. दैट मीन्स ये होना चाहिए था, स्टैंडर्ड मीन्स ये होना चाहिए था, ये हो गया. दिस वाज टू बी, दिस हैपेंड. नाउ 32,000 minus 24,000, that is 8,000. that means we had expected कि expenditure will be 32,000 but spent only 24,000. that is beneficial for us na. When we prepared for more, incurred less, that is our benefit. That's why 32,000 minus 24,000, 8,000. Understand the point? We just save 8,000 rupees. That's why it is our favorable figure. So when we will get the positive figure, just write that is favorable, and we will get the negative figure, just write unfavorable. I'm coming back to you. Next, this is material cost variance. That means overall variance. So remember it, overall variance of the material rupees 8,000. Now analyze in detail. Next, what is the direct material price variance? That means price variance का मतलब क्या होता है? Due to price change, how much is the variance? Variance कितना हुआ price change की वजह से? How it is to be calculated? Direct material price variance can be calculated. Look at here. Price variance means the difference of prices. That means the standard price and actual price. Standard price and actual price. Understand the point? Difference. 5 रुपया सोचे थे, 3 रुपया हुआ, जो भी हुआ, differences into actual quantity. It's very much easy. Actual quantity, on the basis of actual quantity, what is the variance due to the prices? This is the thing, very much simple. When we are calculating the price variance, that means price difference, we have to deduct the prices na. So standard price will be reduced by with the actual price. This is the simple thing. Now look at, now we will be calculating. Okay, so direct material price variance. So direct material price variance कैसे कैलकुलेशन होगा? ये पहले आप देखो, पहले इसको लिखोगे. Price variance means the difference of prices. That means standard price minus actual price multiplied with actual quantity. So always remember that we do the costing for the actual figure. Understand the point? Next to it, actual quantity consumed 2400, standard price 8 rupees minus actual price 10 rupees. Look at here. Now 2400 is the actual quantity. Sorry, I'm sorry, because 2400 kg, or it is correct, 2400 kg actually used. Now standard price set at rupees 8, actual price that comes to rupees 10. So difference between 8 to 10, that comes with a negative figure, no problem at all. Yes, sometime deviation or difference may be unfavorable. So 2400 into minus 2, something written here -2, so we will get -4800. No problem, write down -4800. That means प्राइस की वजह से हम गलत हो गए। यहाँ पर 8 was expected till now, 8 was expected must be occur ₹10, so obviously that will be negative impact. So when we will get a negative figure, just write down 4800 in bracket adverse, write down in bracket adverse or unfavorable. That means due to price constraint, क्योंकि प्राइस बढ़ गया तो हमारा 4800 नेगेटिव इंपैक्ट हो गया कॉस्ट में, दैट इज एडवर्स और अनफेवरेबल लिखा जाता है। तो यहाँ पर याद रखो हमारा -4800, यहाँ पर रिजल्ट हो -4800। दैट मीन्स टोटल कॉस्ट को अगर देखा जाए तो 8000 फेवरेबल है, बट प्राइस की वजह से अनफेवरेबल है हम 4800। अंडरस्टैंड द पॉइंट? नेक्स्ट टू इट, नाउ मटेरियल यूसेज वेरिएंस, और यू कैन से द मटेरियल क्वांटिटी वेरिएंस। दैट मीन्स की by watching the quantity, by from the quantity point of view, how much we have incurred. Understand the point? This is the thing. Okay, तो मटेरियल यूसेज वेरिएंस कैसे कैलकुलेशन होगा? बहुत इजी। व्हेन आई एम सेइंग फॉर द मटेरियल क्वांटिटी, यूसेज मींस यूज्ड, व्हेन आई एम सेइंग फॉर द क्वांटिटी यू हैव टू डिफरेंशिएट बिटवीन क्वांटिटी। सो स्टैंडर्ड क्वांटिटी माइनस स्टैंडर्ड एक्चुअल क्वांटिटी। प्राइस का वेरिएंस से स्टैंडर्ड प्राइस एक्चुअल प्राइस, क्वांटिटी वेरिएंस होने से स्टैंडर्ड क्वांटिटी एक्चुअल क्वांटिटी। अंडरस्टैंड द पॉइंट्स? ये दिस इज द डिफरेंसेस। एंड usage variance is calculated as this is a matter of quantity, usage variance is calculated on the basis of the standard price. Understand the point? Now material usage variance, यहाँ पर और जो नीचे जो लिखा हो उसको छोड़ दो। मटेरियल यूसेज वेरिएंस कैसे कैलकुलेशन होगा? स्टैंडर्ड क्वांटिटी माइनस एक्चुअल क्वांटिटी, डिफरेंसेस ऑफ क्वांटिटी क्या है ऑन द बेसिस ऑफ स्टैंडर्ड प्राइस, now equal to standard price till date we thought ₹8. Now if I'll occur any problem, just text me, just message me, I will be checking the message, no problem at all. I text also, reply me. Material usage variance equal to standard price, standard quantity, this much thing. So standard price here you are watching ₹8. Okay, now the standard quantity we have thought actual quantity was 1600 units. Okay, yes, I understood. So actual quantity we incur 2400 and standard quantity we thought that 1600 units is to be, what was the original question? Let me check once the original question. स्टैंडर्ड क्वांटिटी तो 1600 यूनिट। 8 इंटू 1600 माइनस 2400 कितना होता है? Whether I have changed the original question? Look at here. This is the thing. Actually, what happened? I have modified the question now. 2000 into 2, 2000 into 2, that becomes 4000 units. So now here I have written 4000 units. That's why this problem occurs. I have to solve it in the total now. Because the same question is written on all the pages, and this 4000 I was finding this 4000 figure. Now here I have written, I have just here calculated 2000 into 2, 4000. Now 4000 is the standard, minus 2400 into 8. 4000 minus 2400, that becomes 1600 into 8. Calculate it. 1600 into 8. This may be 8000, 12,000, 800. Understand the point? 12,800. Now this is again a positive figure. Positive figure. So this is favorable. This is favorable. Look at here. Again, I am saying there is the concept key standard units. I was searching for the standard unit, but now here directly written 2000 into 2 is the standard quantity, that is 4000. I use this. So that's why here you have to write the 4000 minus 2400. Understand the points? That comes to 1600 units is the difference into 8. That comes 12,800 is the positive figure. Now here remember 12,800 is the positive figure. Here remember. Now look at what is the miracle of this. Direct material cost variance. That means the entire cost variance that depends upon the price variance and material usage variance. प्राइस की वजह से जो डिफरेंस हुआ एंड यूज की वजह से जो डिफरेंस हुआ, दैट विल बी देयर टोटल कॉस्ट वेरिएंस. ऐसा क्यों, हम उसको समझा सकते हैं आपको. 5000 यूनिट विल बी द टोटल वेरिएंस. टोटल वेरिएंस 5000 यूनिट्स हम सोचे थे, 5000 टोटल डिफरेंस हुआ. नाउ दिस डिफरेंस मे बी ड्यू टू प्राइस ऑल्सो. दैट मीन्स ये यहां देखो प्राइस का कुछ चेंज हो गया, 8 हम सोचे थे 10 हो गया. सो ड्यू टू द डिफरेंस ऑफ ₹2, आई एम एनालाइजिंग द एंटायर कॉन्सेप्ट. सो आई नीड टू गैदर द डेटा. सो ₹2 ड्यू टू द ₹2 डिफरेंसेस, प्राइस की वजह से कुछ डिफरेंस हुआ. नेक्स्ट वीट और क्यों डिफरेंस हुआ ना, हम सोचे थे 4000 यूनिट्स, 4000 यूनिट्स कुछ यूज होगा, बट यूज हुआ 2400. दैट मीन्स क्वांटिटी की डिफरेंस कितना हुआ, यहाँ पर देखो 1600. क्वांटिटी का डिफरेंस हो गया 1600. सो ड्यू टू द क्वांटिटी यूसेज और ड्यू टू द प्राइस चेंज, difference is occur. Now if we'll add these things, price change and quantity change, we'll get the total variance. That's why direct material cost variance. Understand? Look at here again, direct material cost variance. That means the total cost variance that depends upon price variance and usage variance. So write down it. Look at here, direct material cost variance equal to price variance, material price variance plus material usage variance. Let's check it. तो डायरेक्ट मटेरियल कॉस्ट वेरिएंस कितना हुआ, 8000. डायरेक्ट मटेरियल कॉस्ट वेरिएंस 8000. डायरेक्ट मटेरियल प्राइस वेरिएंस minus 48,000, sorry minus 4800 plus material usage variance is the 12,800. That's why these figures were highlighted by me. 12,800 equal to 1200 minus 4,800, that becomes 8,000. So direct material cost variance 8,000. So direct material cost variance is the direct material price variance plus usage variance. Now go to the diagram. Look at it. So cost की variance depend करता है price की variance के ऊपर के, usage की variance के ऊपर से. Now price और usage आप जोड़ दोगे तो that is equal to material cost variances. Understand the points? Now in the same sense, direct labor also, direct labor price variance and direct labor, this is what can we can say the quantity variance. So लेबर में तो क्वांटिटी वेरिएंस नहीं होंगे, उनका एफिशिएंसी जो है, जितना आवर दिया गया था उसके हिसाब से अगर नहीं चल रहे हो तो दैट इज यूसेज वेरिएंस. That works in the same thing. Solving the problems that takes a lot of time. Understand the point? Look at here. Now, due to the labor cost variance, which variance is occurred, that is called labor cost variance. Price variance, that means due to the price of the labor. Suppose we set our price rupees 5 per hour, but actually we had to pay rupees 6 per hour. This is what called the price variance. Efficiency variance, what is meant by the efficiency variance? All these are the 2 marks question. After this I need to go for 2 minutes. Okay, now efficiency variance means, suppose we set it to finish at 50 hours, but actually we occurred 60 hours. This is the thing. So we thought that 50 hours may complete ho jayega, but 60 hours it actually taken. So difference is the 10 hours. This is what called the efficiency variance. This is what called the efficiency variance, calculated in the same manner. Again, if you will add the price variance with the efficiency variance, you will get the direct labor variances. Understand the point? These are already discussed. Another thing, these are in, I'm just switching the slide. I'm not saying anything. Okay, I'm taking you to my slide. Yes, Miss Mathur, what are you watching on the screen? What are you watching?
Understanding financial statements.
Understanding the financial statements. So there are some uncovered part of the financial statements. As I had committed, I will discuss this later by watching the time constraint. So financial statement elements. These are some important concept that we can't leave at all. So various the financial statements. Now we have to analyze them. Which are the various ingredients? Which are the elements under it? Next to it, vertical format of balance sheet, vertical format of the profit loss account already discussed. Na? Reserves and provisions. Look at here. Now reserves and provisions. This is a very much expected question. Look at the reserve versus the provisions. Now look at which are called the reserves, which are called the provisions. Number 1 reserves, यहाँ पर लिख दे number 1 reserve. Profits we retain something, we kept aside. It is kept aside something, we retain. It is appropriation of the profit. This is called the reserve. Provision means this is charged against profit. Charge against profits means before incurring profits. Profit, there is nothing to do with the profit. Understand the points? Provision simply we mean for the future contingencies, for the future hurdles, future problems, we have to keep some amount aside. Understand the point? 5,000, 6,000, 7,000, 7,000. Now, this much of amount kept aside from our revenue, for future any contingencies, future contingencies. This is called the provisions. Understand the point? Now, distinction between the provision and reserves. What is the distinction between provision and reserve? Number one, I am saying simple meaning of the reserve and provisions. Reserve here means, suppose reserve here means you are a salaried person and rupees as reserve at end of this year. Nothing to do with this 20,000 rupees, nothing of planned for this. This is for your future growth and expansion, your future growth and development. In understand the point? Next to it, reserve. What is meant? This is means the reserve. What is meant by the provision? Now you just plan. You just plan for the future of your child. Understand the points? So the educational fund of the child. Understand the point? Or for educational child. और आप घर बनाना चाहते हो for renovation of house building. You are keeping 2,000 per month aside from your salary and accumulating. This is what called the provision. So simply means reserve means after spending all these things you left with this much of thing. That means it is simply the appropriation of profit. Nothing to do with this. This is for the generalized concept. So reserve for the generalized concept. Basic objective of the reserve is for the growth and development, but provision is a targeted setting amount. It's a targeted setting amount for what? For loss or contingencies or for the expenses. So in order to meet any type of loss, contingency or expenditure in future, you are keeping aside a money regularly. That is called the provision fund. Understand the point? These are the two things. प्रॉफिट होने से पहले प्रोविजन रखा जाता है, प्रॉफिट्स के बाद ही रिजर्व किया जाता है. रिजर्व प्रोविजंस. These are two things that inside the financial statement you can see. That's why these are the elements of the financial. Look at concept of profit. This is very much important. Gross profit, operating profit, PBIT, PBT, PAT, cash profit, profit accrual. This thing will be explained by in a easier way. Look at it. These are the things from the financial statements. Understand the points? Now look at here. Your MCO 5 paper, the chapters and all these things, they are simply shuffled, nothing else. Cost concept are where they injected the cost concept, where they injected the financial statement concepts. Understand the points? That's why by aggregating all these concepts, cost concept, I am explaining them at a different class like this. The financial statements. Number one is gross profit. Next to it, operating profit, PBIT, PBT, cash profit. For here, operating profit means net profit, but not always. Understand the point? The gross profit, operating profit, PBIT, this thing. Now look at here. I'm saying. First of all, write down sales. This format you have to always remember. Sales. This is also a income statement. This is also income statement for analysis point of view. Income statement from analysis point of view. First, sales less variable cost. That is what called contribution. So sales से सबसे पहले variable cost less कर दोगे. That is what called contribution. Less the fixed cost. That is what called PBIT, profit before interest and taxes. Sales less variable cost, less contribution, sorry, that is contribution less fixed cost, PBIT. PBIT. What is meant by PBIT? Profit before interest and tax. Now आज the term suggest before interest and tax, तो सबसे पहले क्या माइनस होगा? इंटरेस्ट. Now profit before taxes. This PBT means profit before taxes. Understand? Now PBT as profit before taxes. So again less कर दो, less करो taxes. Again less करो taxes. Now profit after taxes. Understand the points? What is meant by PAT? Profit after taxes. This is simply analysis of your profit. This is simply analysis of your profit stepwise. This is the concept. PAT. Now profit after tax. Tax भी यहाँ से चला गया, इंटरेस्ट माइनस हो गए, टैक्स माइनस हो गए, तो नंबर 1 क्या माइनस होगा? वेरिएबल कॉस्ट, उसके बाद फिक्स्ड कॉस्ट, then interest, then taxes. Now profit after tax, tax also deducted. Now whatever remains with us, that will be distributed among the shareholder. That will be distributed among the shareholder. तो सबसे पहले कौन shareholder आते हैं? को पता ही है, preference shareholder. So next to it, less preference dividend. Let's to it, preference dividend. Understand the point? Now profit available for equity shareholder. Profit available for equity shareholder. Finally, we will get profit available for equity shareholder. PAFES. Understand the points? So that means आपको पहले सबसे पहले इंटरेस्ट हटाना है, टैक्स हटाना है, तो whatever remains with us that will be distributed as the dividend, preference dividend चला जाएगा, फिर इक्विटी शेयरहोल्डर्स ले जाएंगे. इसके बाद और एक कैलकुलेशन होता है, that is what called EPS, earning per share. Very easy. Earning per share, that means earning per share to the equity shareholders. Finally जितना प्रॉफिट्स अवेलेबल फॉर इक्विटी शेयरहोल्डर पर इक्विटी शेयरहोल्डर कितना हो रहा है? बहुत इजी. Profits available for equity shareholder, PAFES, divided by numbers of equity shareholder, divided by numbers of equity shareholder. This is what called the EPS. Understand the point? Now come to this. Gross profit you already know. Trading account, by deducting the direct income, direct expenditure, we will get the gross profit. Operating profit here means net profit. For the time being, understand net profit. Now PBIT means profit before interest and tax, PBT means profit before tax, PAT means profit after tax. What is meant by the cash profit? Received profit in cash items. Cash item. That means when we deduct the non-cash item from the profits, that is what called the cash profit. For example, I am saying cash profit. So cash profit कैसे होंगे? ना profits plus non-cash items, profit plus non-cash items, plus क्यों? Because when you are calculating the profit, the expenses were deducted. Expenses already deducted, then you will get the profit. Now how to nullify this? To adverse, by adversing this. So expenditures minus होकर के प्रॉफिट निकले थे. अगर वो एक्सपेंडिचर को काउंट नहीं करना है तो अब क्या करोगे? अभी प्लस करना होगा, ऐड करना होगा. So profit plus non-cash item. Now which are called the non-cash items? Which are called the non-cash expenditures? Look at here, like depreciation. Depreciation is a non-cash item. So simply means profit plus depreciation and non-cash expenditures. Net profit, we got the net profits, but due to various non-cash item. Understand the points? Non-cash item like losses, provisions, like the, you can say, depreciation. So when we'll add back all these things, non-cash item, we get the cash profit. Next week, profit available for equity shareholder, already discussed. By deducting all types of expenses, whatever we got, that is called profit available for equity shareholder. Concept of capital. Understand the point? Concept of capital. Simply we are discussing the various elements of financial statements. Various elements of financial statements. Now, concept of capital. So many types of capital are there. Capital employed, shareholders fund, shareholders equity, debt fund, net working capital. One by one. Understand the point? First, capital employed. Capital employed means the amount net invested in our business. कैसे कैलकुलेशन हो सकता है? Look at here. Capital employed. Total assets, because total assets, that much of amount invested in our business. Total asset except fictitious assets. Except fictitious assets. You have to ignore the fictitious assets. Which are called the fictitious assets? Those were not in reality the assets, only regarded as assets. Like preliminary expenses. They are shown on the balance, so they are shown on the asset side of the balance sheet, but those are actually, they are not the assets. These are called the fictitious assets. Understand the points? Now, total assets except fictitious assets. Understand the point? Less outsiders liability. Outsiders liability like bank loan etc. That means investment हमारा asset पे इतना हुआ था, less इतना पैसा लोगों को देना है. तो net आपके पास जितना assets invested है, this is what called the capital employed. Understand the point? Capital employed. So write down capital employed equal to total asset except fictitious asset less outsiders liability. Shareholders fund. How to calculate shareholders fund? Simply, shareholders fund means anything payable return to the shareholders. So shareholders here means both equity shareholder and preference shareholders. So shareholders fund means equity share capital plus preference share capital plus reserves and surpluses. This is the concept. That means you have to shareholders fund. Shareholders simply means shareholders fund means the amount which belongs to the shareholders. If the company will wind up today, how much amount to be returned back to the shareholders? So first of all, their capital money, their investment money, that is equity share capital plus preference shareholder capital, and their reserves and surplus amount must be paid back. These much things. Next to it, shareholders equity. Shareholders equity means equal to equity shareholders fund only. That means equity share capital plus equity shareholders fund, reserves and surplus. Because reserve and surplus always belong to the equity shareholders. Why? Because preference shareholders are not owner of the company. That's why equity shareholders equity means equity shareholders capital. Equity share capital plus reserves and surplus. Debt fund altogether of all loans. Understand the points? Loans and advances. Yata debt fund. Generally long term. Generally long term loans and advances. Net working capital. What is meant by the net working capital? Very easy. Exact amount in current situation on which we are doing the business. That is what called the net working capital. So net working capital equal to current assets minus current liabilities. Current assets minus current liabilities. करने से आपका हो जाएगा net working capital. Understand the point? This is the thing. These are the various types of capital you can say. Uses of financial statement. In which areas you can use the financial statement? Number one, look at here. Financial statements you can use for the economic decision making. So economic decision making means suppose you are thinking for dropping a product. You are thinking of capital enhancement. अंडरस्टैंड द पॉइंट ना। कैपिटल ज्यादा हो या फिर कोई एक बिजनेस को हम बंद कर देंगे या फिर प्रोडक्ट को, ये कैसे पता चलेगा? बाय एनालाइजिंग द फाइनेंशियल स्टेटमेंट्स। You will watch the financial statement, what is the scenario, what is the trend, what is the profit trend, how we are earning, how we are good on certain points. Understand the points? So that's why by watching the financial statements, economic decisions are taken. Economic decision means the financial decisions, nothing else. Financial decisions are taken. Investors decision means whether the prospective investor of the market will invest in our company or not, that will be decided on your financial statement. How they will know it is a efficient company or inefficient company? By watching the financial statement, they will judge the profit trend, they will watch the EPS trend, earning per share, and they will make their mind to invest in your company. So investors decision is depend upon. Employees decision, that means employee will stable in your company or not, they will get bonus or not, because bonus is depend upon the profit of the company. Uh, what is their stability? They are watching your financial statement. If the company will perform better, they will get the good bonus and remuneration, they will be placed in a better position. If the company will perform poor, employees also just switch over the company. Creditors and financiers, why they look after you? Due to the credit worthiness, due to the credit worthiness of the company. That means before sanctioning a loan, bank watch at the financial statements. Before sanctioning the loan, bank watch at the financial statement whether this company is good at a particular point of time or not. Understand the point? Because from the financial statement they can know how much your asset, how much your liabilities, how much your capital. That means how strong you are. Based on that, you will get a loan. Based on company, bank will decide you give you loan or not. So financial statement is the mirror for serving so many purposes, to the insider, to the outsiders. Customers, public, and competitors decision, these are two-sided things. Customers also watch financial position of the company due to the product reliance, understand, service reliance, understand, भरोसा होगा उसके ऊपर. Public also sometime. Next with competitors decision. Competitors, yes, competitors, they will watch our financial statement, we will watch their financial statement for comparison purpose. Very easy for comparison purpose. If there is no competitive, there is no growth at all. So financial statements of the competitive firms must be compared for measuring our growth. Managerial decisions, obviously. Financial statements once prepared, management accounting work start. So management accounting, the managers will start deciding the things on the basis of the financial statements. So next week, government and agencies. Why so? Because government collect the taxes. Government collect the taxes. And it agencies means tax department, etc. Under sales tax department. So government collect the taxes. That tax depend upon the revenues and profit. Revenue means sales and profit. So you are telling a truth or not, that will be revealed by the financial statements. Without getting the financial statement, government will not accept the tax. Na? Use our financial statements. Researchers use our financial statements by for analysis point of view, for gathering informations, for writing their thesis. Understand the points? To get the data, this is the nothing else. Data. Sometimes the MBA students, they need to prepare their project work. Understand the points? College students, they prepare to need their project work. So we have to provide them information, else they can get the secondary information from the internet. So researchers also, PhD holders also, PhD scholars also, they research on the financial statements for their data. Understand the points? For today, this much only. Okay. So thanks, lot of thanks. You can contact me in this way.